Alright guys, it looks like we're still working with the sales guys from a company, and we're keeping track of their sales or their policies that they've sold each month, or that for that month basically. So it's the same as like if you have exercise 4A or 4B, we're still working with that same idea. Enter a sales guy, enter the number of policies he's sold for the month, and then go to the next guy and the next guy. I've got two ways to do this. The first way is probably the way they're going to want. The book is going through, like in this chapter, we're doing decisions, and I don't think up to this point we've gone over arrays at all, so I would encourage you to do it the first way probably. So I'm not sure how your professor would feel if they saw your code, you're coding arrays, two corresponding arrays, and they're ordered from greatest to least, and you know, they'd probably think, oh, where are you getting these answers from? But anyway, I feel like I do this because I really think there's a need for explanations out there. So the goal is never just to give you an answer. It's so you can really understand what's going on. I've struggled a lot in the past trying to find answers out there, and it just, little helpful pieces of guidance. And so the reason I'm doing this is because I really think there's a need for it. It takes hours upon hours to find anything that's even halfway credible, at least for me. Maybe I just suck at searching online, but it's just something that I want to do because I want for people to not waste an astronomical amount of time, and for them to really get a head start on understanding and being able to duplicate that. It's the same idea, when people say, um, actually, while I'm ranting, I'll just kind of scroll around here so you can see the pseudocode and the flowchart. But people have this idea that it's you don't want to give somebody the answer. You want them to be able to discover it for themselves. But I look at it a little bit differently. If I want somebody who is very capable, I want them to be trained by the most renowned professional in the field. And I want that professional, not saying that's me by any means, but it's just the idea, the concept I'm trying to get across, is that professional, I would want that professional to train the newcomer and teach that newcomer everything they know, and teach them how to be be just like them. So it's a matter of that. I don't want this newcomer to waste the company's time shooting in the dark, coming up finally with an answer weeks after the due date, and turns out they didn't do it right. So it's probably something you see on some forums. They're like, don't post the answers here, and I disagree with that, and I'm gonna stick to it. I think that people don't want their time wasted, and I feel like showing someone the answer and then walking them through how the answer was achieved is more time effective. It is more it boosts morale, and it's just all together. It progresses success a lot faster, a lot more efficient. Everything works a lot better, and the world becomes a better place. So I know there might be some people that disagree with that, but I don't care. I think what I'm doing is is helpful to walk everyone through this and show them how the right answer is achieved, or hopefully the right answer. I always check and make sure that I haven't missed anything. This is kind of a team effort here, but hopefully I can give you a head start and some good guidance. But anyway, after that, let's go to start. We've got enter in, the ID here. We're going to ask for the ID. And while the ID is not 0, we're going to ask for the sales. And if the sales are in the range of 7 to 12, we're going to recognize that employee. And then we're going to ask for the ID again. If it's 0, we're going to end the while loop and stop. So very simple, very not too difficult. I know the other videos I've done in the past, we've gone through loops and stuff, so I don't want to go through too much and talk about this too much, but we'll say that a lot of people, I've noticed that the book, they have declarations here. They'll say declaration, and then they'll have or declarations, and then they'll have all the variables underneath of that. I might start doing that because that's the way the book does it. Some people say it's not necessary for pseudocode. Just like with here, I'll have the yellow square or yellow rectangle, and declarations and then variables and everything. So I'll probably start doing that from now on, just to stick close to the book, even if it's not necessary. But this is the flowchart here. Input ID, while ID is not equal to 0, sales. If it's in that range, output the sales, or recognize the employee basically. And ask for the ID again. If it's 0, stop. And with this one, you'll notice that you're going to have an output every time the loop runs. I'm not really a fan of that. That's why I have the other way to do it. And I'll just kind of show you this real fast. If you're unfamiliar with arrays, then I would encourage you to watch a video I just uploaded called Sort to Arrays. It's in the Extra C++ playlist. And I go into a lot more detail as far as the why and the how of this. So it's a 20-minute video, but it's worth it if you want to understand this. So we'll go up to the code here, and let me show you the flowchart for that as well. This is how it would look. And we'll go down here, sales, counters, while, go back up. This is a do while loop, by the way. No, so an infinite loop here, a for loop. This is inside of this infinite loop is where we organize everything from greatest to least. So if the sales is all this, then we change out everything to put it back in order. Go back around. We've got an exit strategy here. Break. So we output our headers to make it look organized. A for loop to output everything. So come back around and stop. Pretty crazy. Definitely watch that video if you want to understand that better. But this is the way the code will look. The first way only makes use of sales and ID as far as variables go. And the second way makes use of more, a lot more. Let's go ahead and run the program. This is the first way here. So we'll have 2 and sales. Let's say anywhere from 7 to 15 they're going to get recognized. So let's do 10. You see there? So we'll have guy number 4. Maybe he only did 2. He doesn't get recognized. So let's enter that sentinel value of 0. Typically it would be in program here, but notice how there's no return 0. So I'm just going into the second way to do it to show you what this will look like. We have guy number 5, maybe he did 12. Guy number 6, he did 11. Guy number 7 did 14. Guy number 3 did, let's say he did 4. And what we're going to have here when I hit in the sentinel value of 0 is we should have a nice table layout. Little list here. And it's in greatest to least, off of the sales. So the employee follows, the employees are also reorganized according to where their corresponding sales go. As you can see, guy number 7 did 14. Yep, still paired. Let's look up here, 5 and 12. Yep, 6 and 11. And then notice how this person is not recognized because of this. And they're outside of that range. You can even do this. The reason I like that too a lot is because let's go ahead and I'll exit out of that first way. Now we're on the second way to do it. So this is why I like it too. Got guy number 7, say he did 12. Guy number 6 did 8. Guy number 5 did 14. Guy number 4 did 9. And I can push enter here, clear the console. I just want to make some room. It remembers everything, so let me hit that sentinel value. And if you remember all of the numbers, then that all matches up. So you can see everything is just wonderful with the second method. But again, I probably wouldn't do that because it's, I mean, you haven't gone over that probably in your class yet, and it would be a little weird to roll in there with arrays set up, and then your professor might be like, some people just don't like when you try to find help for your homework problems. They think you should be able to think of this from original thought or learn from the books that aren't really all that great in the long run. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.